I've done many manifestation videos in my time, all of which have gotten so many views because I have been practicing this for so many years. I've learned so many amazing tips and tricks along the way. But I'm at the point in my journey now where I think manifestation is literally the easiest thing you could ever do. And I want to take out all of the fluff and all of the extra stuff and complications that we see online and just tell you right down to the basics, the most efficient, easiest, and fastest way to manifest literally anything you want. You don't need any sort of equipment. Literally anybody can do it. And I'm going to be telling you all of the updated knowledge I have on manifestation today in my Ultimate Guide to Manifestation Part 2. No vision boards, no scripting, no rituals needed. This video is all about helping you master rewiring your mind, changing your perspective, tapping into your subconscious so that you can get anything you want like magic. In chapter number 1, we're going to go through the basics. There are still so many non-believers out there on whether manifestation really works, or so many people who are trying to practice it, but you still have those little doubts in the back of your mind, which makes you wonder, is this actually going to do anything? That's why chapter 1 is so important. I've now learned so much about the science behind manifestation. In chapter number 2, we're going to go through rewiring your mind. This is taking out all of the stuff that is preventing you from living your dream life, any of those blockages and limiting beliefs, and replacing them with thoughts that are going to help you close the gap between your current and most ideal self. And chapter number 3, we're going to be going through all of the different manifestation methods I like to use. I've recently been doing this thing where I actually have a note on my phone and it's called my manifesting menu. And I'm going to tell you everything I have written in that list at the end of this video. Before we get right into it, I want to give a big thank you to Squarespace, who is the sponsor of today's video. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform built for entrepreneurs to be able to stand out and succeed online, regardless of their expertise or experience in business. You can be building a huge international growing brand, or you could just have gotten the idea to start your business, have no idea where to start or what to even do as your first step, and Squarespace still has all of the tools for anyone on either end of the spectrum. And that's because Squarespace makes it easier than ever for you to create a beautiful and professional looking website, to engage with your audience, and to sell literally anything online, whether it be products, content, or time, all in one place and on your own terms. Now, I've spoken about and recommended Squarespace enough times for us all to know that they help you with your email marketing campaigns. They have an array of beautiful website templates. We already know all of that. But Squarespace has been leveling up their platform to take your website and your business to the next level. They recently introduced Design Intelligence. Design Intelligence empowers anyone to be able to create the most beautiful, professional looking website that is tailored to their unique business needs, as well as crafting an entire bespoke digital identity, which you can then use across all platforms. This also links into Squarespace Blueprint AI, which is Squarespace's newest AI website builder. After a few questions, Squarespace's interactive design system transforms basic information about your brand or business into an elevated online presence. And the best part is, it's all matched to your profile and your aesthetic. I mean, I don't know about you, but at this point, after learning this knowledge, I really don't think there is any excuse for anyone out there that has been wanting to start a business not to do it when it's this easy. So if it sounds like something you would want to try out, then you guys can head to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And whenever you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/TemCore, and that will get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Chapter number 1, the basics of manifestation, because once you understand how it works, you will effortlessly become a master at it. Fact 1, who you are and the reality that you experience go hand in hand. They are interconnected. Your reality, the life that you see, experience, and feel every single day is a direct reflection of who you are in the inside, how you see yourself, and all of the feelings and vibrations you are holding in your inner world. Therefore, in order to change your life, in order to change the reality that you are seeing, feeling, and experiencing on a daily basis, all you would have to do is to change the way you act, feel, and think. It's a very simple equation. Now, I know some of you might be hearing this and think that is just way too good to be true. That sounds way too easy, but this is the science behind it. Our brain has something called neuroplasticity, which means it's very malleable and adaptable. This is why I've always spoken about visualization as a really good and easy manifestation practice, because when you are visualizing something, you are imagining yourself into that reality. You are perceiving yourself in the world in a way that aligns to your ideal reality. And when your brain is viewing that imagined experience, it starts rewiring itself to make that experience that hasn't even happened yet normalized. And this is because the brain actually cannot tell the difference between a real and imagined experience. So even if you are imagining something that is so delulu that you think would never be able to happen, your brain is already starting to form new neural connections right in here, as if that delulu imagined experience is already happening. Your brain believes that it's happening. So think about it this way. If you are imagining the same thing over and over, let's say graduating university, and you imagine that you were going to graduate with top marks and you're going to get everything you ever wanted, even though right now you're struggling in university, you're not going to any of your classes, and you're flunking every test. Let's say that that's your real reality that you're seeing, but the thing that you're imagining is that you're going to graduate with top marks and everything's going to be fine. Once you keep imagining the ideal reality that you want, your brain is going to start working in a way and thinking in a way that supports that reality, because that's all it's ever focused on. And so over time, with those repeated thoughts and emotions you're feeling and visualizing, this then becomes an automatic pattern in your brain that will then influence your everyday actions to attract those experiences in that reality that you have been imagining. So given that that is the basis and the basics of how manifestation works, we need to realize that it's super important not only to visualize the reality we want and start to bring those thoughts and emotions into our brain right now, but also we need to identify any thought patterns or feelings or perceptions that are keeping us stuck in the reality that we are in right now, which is far away from where we want to be. And this is a pattern that so many of us fall into. We become so accustomed to what we can see in front of us right now that we put all of our focus onto it, which means our brain can't get adjusted to where we actually want to be. You need to recognize these even subconscious beliefs that are keeping you stuck in these old patterns, because if you are constantly thinking you're not going to graduate, where's the motivation to actually turn up to class? Where's the motivation and the thought patterns that are going to influence you to study in a different way, which is then going to get you your desired reality? To manifest a new reality, you have to let go of your past conditioning. You can't keep reinforcing the same old patterns by just accepting that those are the thoughts that you're having. It's really important that you replace those negative emotions, because yes, while your brain is thinking in a very comfortable way, because that's what it's been used to for so many years, for example, being overcritical, self-doubting, insecure, not believing in your abilities, your brain is going to continue to think like that, and that's fine. You can't judge the fact that those thoughts are coming up, but what you can do is choose what you are going to transform those thoughts into. For example, the comfortable, regular thought and experience of what if I fail comes up, and then you are going to choose how you respond to that, and you are going to change your response. I feel so grateful to be in university. I worked so hard to get here. If I was able to get myself this far, I can continue to keep going. I am fully capable of studying and getting the grades that I desire. You see the difference? You are met with that initial fear and doubt, but then you are going to replace it with your second and third and fourth thoughts with joy and love and gratitude. Okay, having said all of that, it's really important to finish this chapter with a super important point. And that is, when you are in this process of shifting your thoughts, of trying to manifest your reality, of trying to rewire your mind, you cannot judge yourself. Bringing in judgment and stressing out about why do I keep thinking this way, or why am I not doing this right, you are affecting all of your manifestations and your ideal reality from actually coming to you. And this is actually a scientifically supported fact, and that's because there's something called the observer effect in quantum physics. And all this means is that particles behave differently when they are being observed. And so in really simple terms, what this means for us is our attention and where we place our focus will then influence our behavior and our energy. So if you're making mistakes, if you're going back to comfortable patterns in the way that you are thinking or criticizing yourself throughout this process, please observe yourself without judgment. That means understand where you might be going wrong and then make the correct decisions to start shifting your mindset, but stop with the judgment and the criticism, because then you're just going in the same old circles. And that leads us on to chapter number 2. Now that we know all of the basics on manifestation and how it actually works and the science behind it, we can now talk about how we are going to rewire our mind. So step number 1, recapping what we just said. Your body and mind is addicted to comfort because it constantly wants to keep you safe. It's scared of anything that's unknown or unpredictable. Therefore, your body and your mind is always going to try to pull you back to really familiar experiences and ways of thinking and being. And you need to understand this so you take yourself out of the equation and detach from it. It's not your fault that you're thinking like this. It's very easy to just keep thinking the same way your entire life. In order to start manifesting and rewiring your mind, It's simply a case of this same old comfortable negative thought has popped into my head again. I'm now going to shift this and change this into something that serves me instead. And the essential steps to this are: 1, to observe yourself without judgment. So recognize when a negative thought pattern is coming. Recognize when you're thinking in a way that does not align with where you want to be. And that process of rewiring your brain and choosing new thoughts has to be paired with step 2, which is having this unconditional, strong, confident belief that your new reality exists and is on its way, even if you have no physical evidence of it yet. Even if you think it's the most delusional thing in the world and that you don't think it's going to happen because you haven't even seen anybody with that reality before, it does not matter. You need to have this unwavering sense of belief and confidence in it regardless. For example, let's say you are manifesting a certain amount of money. Instead of thinking, why don't I have the money yet? Or why am I still struggling? Or why do I have to keep saving everything? It's not working. No. You are still way too focused on your actual physical reality changing, and you are stressing yourself out as a result. Instead, you need to align with the identity and the thought process and the feelings that somebody with a lot of money would have, and simply focus on that journey and detach from any external or physical results. And this is because the number one rule in a manifestation is to act, live, and feel as if you already have your desire. This is an example of shifting timelines. Let's say you are right here today in your present moment where you're sat right now watching this video, and you feel lack and you feel scarce and you feel worried about your position with money. And if you think about where you want to be in 5 years' time, you are abundant and you have more than enough than you would ever need, and you never have to check the price of anything. You're just living your rich girl life. In order to get from here, you watching this video, to where you actually want to be able to close that gap, all you have to do is think, act, and feel like they would. I want you to put yourself in that 5-year in the future version of yourself. I want you to put yourself in their shoes. I want you to imagine, how do they think? How do they wake up every day? Do they wake up every day and they feel stressed and they feel on edge and they're worried that they're not going to make ends meet? No, they step into their day calmly, happily, gratefully. They go about their morning in a slow way. They don't feel the need to rush or to penny pinch. It's all about consistently embodying your new self. On top of this, you need to remember that manifestation is not a one-time event, it's a daily practice. And this is why I said at the beginning of the video, you don't need a vision board, you don't need to script, you don't need any of these new hacks or writing in your notebook. It's literally all about just the way that you think. So one example is, I hosted my first ever influencer event the other week and I was absolutely terrified. I didn't have the most social life or childhood. So getting a bunch of people together in a room, being responsible for the experience that they're gonna have and controlling that entire event was really scary and really, really uncomfortable for me. And as easy as it would be to not do it, because I literally didn't have to do it. There was no obligation for me to do it. I took on that responsibility because I wanted to, because I knew if I do this, I will grow and it will add to my confidence and the way that I view myself. If I think about who I am and what my career looks like in 5 years, I can host events like these easy. There's no anxiety, there's no worry, there's just pure confidence. And in order for me to get that, I need to take one step forward to it today. Even though I don't feel ready, even though I feel terrified, even though I don't have all of the equipment or all of the experience at hand right now, I need to act like I've already got it together. And so I did it, even though I was terrified. And now I feel so confident that I'm ready to host another event tomorrow. Another example is when I just started university. At this point, I used to be terrified of speaking to new people. I was really shy and I was really quiet. And what I did was I pretended that I wasn't that. I embodied this alter ego where I pretended that I could be confident and I could be extroverted, and I literally faked it. I was acting, guys. I was acting because I genuinely did not have those social skills. And now here I am. I'm able to get online and I'm able to meet you guys at my events and be social and have that skill set simply because I pretended to have it, because I imagined who I wanted to be and I showed up like that, rather than focusing so much on who I have been and just continuing in that way. And lastly, to finish up this chapter, I want to share with you guys a huge new lesson I've learned in manifestation in just my own lived experience. And this is that when you are in the process of manifesting a new self, a new life, a new reality, the universe is going to give you a lot of tests along the way. And if you don't know how to deal with those tests and how to pass them, you are always going to be stuck in the same old reality, regardless of how much you are trying to rewire your mind and change your thought patterns. This is because these tests that you are given are given to test and see if how you've been rewiring your mind is actually working and sticking. So to put that into simple terms, here's a really easy example. Let's say there's a person who is manifesting money, and the test the universe is going to give this person who's been trying to rewire their mindset, trying to become more financially abundant in here first. Let's say the universe gives them a test where they get a random amount of money and responds to it by thinking, oh my God, I have to save this. Oh my God, what if I run out of it? What am I supposed to do with this? And they don't even know how to deal with that money or how to spend it generously or abundantly or view it abundantly. They are never then going to shift to the next stage of their reality where they're going to have that amount of money at their disposal constantly. The universe is giving you just a little taste of the reality that you want. And if you are not able to deal with it because you haven't been doing the work in here, you're not going to be able to access it for the foreseeable. Another example of this is something that I've actually experienced in my career when I was growing really slowly on social media. Actually, there was no growth. Like literally nothing was happening. And all I would do was I would pray every day, like, oh, I'm going to get a viral video, or people are going to follow me and I'm going to be able to be a content creator full time. And I was really thinking, I was really focusing on it. And every single day I was putting in the work. But when I had my first viral video, I believe it was on TikTok, it came with so many people and so many strangers perceiving me. And I hadn't overcome that obstacle in my head. I was still a little bit insecure. I hadn't built up the confidence to be able to deal with what's going to come with my desired reality. People are gonna watch you. People are gonna comment on you. People are gonna talk about you. People are gonna hate on you. People from your hometown are gonna judge you. And because I hadn't dealt with that, I had the one viral video, which was the test. And then I went back to slow growth for 2 more years on top of that, because I just wasn't in the right headspace to be able to deal with that every single day. I had to overcome my own inner battles and inner demons about caring what other people thought about me and thinking that they determined my worth, or thinking that I had to people please in order to be worthy enough to have a huge following online or have these viral videos. Once I had overcome all of that, that is when the universe gave me my desired reality. And that leads us on to chapter number 3, the homework chapter / all of the manifestation methods you can use to put everything you've learned in this video so far into practice. We've spoken so much about rewiring your mind, about working on who you are as a person to be able to deal with these tests and gain this new reality. So this is everything you can do to achieve that. Method number 1 is quantum leaping. This is what I think is the most essential main method of manifesting. I think it's the only one you should ever even have to use. It's super efficient, it's super easy, and literally anyone can do it. So this is how you quantum leap. Quantum leaping essentially means shifting timelines. It's what we said earlier about stepping into the shoes of your future ideal self to align with their emotions, their vibrational frequency, their thought patterns. So in order to quantum leap, you need to start by identifying exactly who you want to become. What do you want to experience? What is the life you want to live? How do you want to feel about yourself and think about yourself every day? Then step 2 is you need to describe this reality in so much detail. So for example, let's say your desired reality is that you want to live in New York one day. You need to describe that experience in so much detail, down to how do you feel when you wake up? What does your apartment look like? What are all the details within it? What is your New York morning routine? What has moving to New York given to you? How does it make you feel? And then step number 3 is to visualize this in as much vivid detail in your mind as you possibly can. Optional here, you could also write it down so you never forget it. So those are the basic beginning steps. And then when it comes to quantum leaping, you need to remember that this is an everyday practice and that it is very gradual. You are only going to be able to fully quantum leap and align with the ideal version of yourself and therefore manifest whatever that is that you want to have when you are quantum leaping and shifting and visualizing every single day until you can confidently commit to this new identity you have created for yourself. For me personally, I like to combine my quantum leaping with my meditation. Every single morning, I close my eyes, I do my silent meditation, and then I continue it by closing my eyes, focusing on my breathing, and then quantum leaping by visualizing my ideal reality in full detail every single morning. Combining it with meditation is really useful because then you are disconnecting from your current reality. Any stresses or doubts or negative energy that's happening in your life right now, you are stepping away from it. And this is why meditation just on its own as well is also a really powerful manifestation method. That's another thing in my list. When you are meditating, when you are silent, and when you're with yourself, you can raise your vibration to gratitude and love and joy just in that process of focusing on your breath. And when you start reaching those higher vibrations in the vibrational scale of frequency, you are already more aligned to the happier, more abundant reality that you want. Okay, now as promised, I'm going to talk you through my entire manifesting menu that I keep in my phone for days where maybe I'm a little bit bored of quantum leaping, I want to try something new, or maybe I do want to do the odd manifestation ritual if I have some extra time. So step number 1 is visualization. This normally comes in the form of either quantum leaping or looking at my vision board. I will literally every single morning brush my teeth and stare at my vision board at the same time. And for those 2-3 minutes, I am putting myself in every single one of those images that I am seeing. And it's like another form of visualization for me. And this links into my second manifestation method, which is my sleep manifestation. Now, this is actually a manifestation method that was created by a man named Neville Goddard. I would highly recommend you research his full theory because I'm just going to simplify it for you right now. But essentially what this involves is when you get into bed at night and you're about to fall asleep, as your mind and your body is getting into this really sleepy state, if you have been visualizing your reality at the same time as your body is going into that more tired, sleepy state, it's actually easier for everything that you're visualizing and thinking to then penetrate and enter your subconscious mind because you're in between the state of being awake and in dream sleep. And it's literally so easy every night where you're trying to fall asleep, instead of just thinking about your day or thinking random thoughts or thinking about your crush, you're going to play out your dream life like a movie in your head. Method number 3 is to use ChatGPT. Now, I'm actually going to make a full YouTube video on how to use ChatGPT to create your dream life. So if you haven't already, subscribe because that's going to be coming within the next few weeks. But for this video, I'm going to say, go onto ChatGPT and I want you to ask ChatGPT to disprove your limiting beliefs. Literally type in whatever you feel like is making you doubt yourself or affecting your confidence in manifesting your ideal reality. And when you type in this limiting belief, you need to type in as much detail about your story, about your life, and about yourself as you possibly can to make sure it works in the best way possible. This really works because, as we said in the beginning of the video, all of your old thought patterns, if they are not gone and if you have not worked on them or moved past them, they are going to affect your ability to manifest today, despite all of the visualization you're doing. It's going to cancel each other out. And so ChatGPT can really help with making sure you don't believe any of those negative thoughts anymore. My third manifestation method is to use journaling. I love to journal about my ideal reality in present tense. If you guys didn't know, I actually recently came out with my own journal. It's called Obsessed with Growth. And within this journal, there are multiple pages called Future Self Journaling. And this is your constant reminder when you've been journaling every day to write as if you've already achieved your dream reality, write as if you're already your future self. And this combines all of the manifestation knowledge in this video. It's about embodying the ideal self, embodying the way they're thinking and feeling because you're writing as if you were already them. My fifth, I think we're on number 5, manifestation method is gratitude. Now, everybody talks about gratitude, but if you really immerse yourself in the process of gratitude, it can be a really powerful manifestation method. So I'm not just talking about write 3 things you're grateful for in your journal every day. I'm talking about really immerse yourself in just one thing you were grateful for today. Let's say you're grateful for your family, or let's say you're grateful for the food on your plate. I want you to write a story about that. Write a paragraph about how grateful you feel, the emotions it's given you, how safe you feel, how far you've come in your life so far. Because the more focus and attention you are pouring into just that one experience of being grateful for something, the more your vibration is increasing and therefore aligning into the desired reality that you want to bring into right now. The next manifestation method I use in my menu is really simple, and it literally says, like, this is the way I've written it down. It says, yes, exclamation mark, stop denying your desires. Sometimes we can have a really bad or stressful day, and we can just fall back into these old thought patterns where we think that we want something and we're like, oh no, that probably won't happen. No, we are going to nip that in the bud, and simply the process of going about your day, go work, go do your chores, go do your responsibilities, go spend time with your friend. Literally have a normal day, but just get rid of the word no and replace it with yes, I can have this. Maybe I can't have it right now in this moment, but it's on its way to me. And it's part of that really popular example that a lot of people speak about and that I'd mentioned before. When you go to a store and you see something you really want to buy, instead of saying, oh my God, I can't afford this, instead you think, how can I make enough money to make sure that I can get this? Or this is on its way to me. Or I simply have other priorities with my money right now, but I'm going to come back to purchase this one day. The next manifestation method is one that I think is so important. And this is self-concept work. You need to work on how you see yourself and the relationship you have with yourself and the facts about yourself that you believe to be true. Basically, how you think about yourself and how you see yourself. And that's because your reality reflects back to you who you are, how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself. And if you want to know how to change your self-concept, I would urge you to watch any of the videos on my channel in my mindset playlist. There are so many. So you need to start this by thinking, what are the issues that I have going on in here? Do I feel insecure? How can I beat those insecurities that are making me hide away, that are preventing me from being my most authentic, confident self? I want you to literally take a second right now and think, what are the blockages in my life? What are the things I struggle with? And then I want you to make sure that you never experience that obstacle again, because you don't need to. You literally get to create whatever reality you want and think in whichever way you want. And this leads us onto the last manifestation method in my manifesting menu. This is something really new as well that I have started, and it's called EFT tapping. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. Now, this is actually something that a lot of therapists recommend because it's part of somatic therapy. And EFT tapping is basically a way to calm down your nervous system. It's a process of tapping on these meridian points on your face whilst acknowledging any limiting belief you may have and then replacing it with a belief that actually serves you. For example, I acknowledge that I feel stressed, that I think people don't like me. However, I believe that I am worthy of love and acceptance and care, blah, 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 blah. In a nutshell, that's what EFT looks like. And I actually think that this has a role in manifestation because while you're removing these limiting beliefs and you're calming down your nervous system, you are rewiring your subconscious mind for success. You are acknowledging this is the way I feel, this is how I'm releasing it, and now I'm bringing these new thought patterns into my reality, into my mind. And therefore, in the process, you are shifting your energy to manifest exactly what you want because you are thinking in a way that aligns to your desires. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had so much fun filming this video. As I said before, I filmed so many different manifestation videos, but I love this one. I feel like it's the simplest, the most straightest to the point. There's not a lot to do. If you just watch the second chapter of this video and just do what I say there, you're already doing more than enough to manifest. I'm wishing you the best of luck on your journey. Please comment down below. Let me know which manifesting method you're going to use from this video. If it's any of the methods I mentioned in chapter 3, I would love to know, and I will be responding to comments. I can't wait to see what you do, and I'm wishing you the best of luck. I will see you same time next week for a brand new video on Friday. I appreciate you. Bye.